Topic: Photosynthesis. Aims of lesson. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define basic terminology such as photosynthesis, light phase, dark phase, etc. Know the process of photosynthesis by using words and symbols. Know the importance of photosynthesis. Know the effects of light, carbon dioxide, and temperature on the rate of photosynthesis. Know the role of carbon dioxide enrichment, optimum light, and optimum temperatures in greenhouse systems to improve crop yields. Know the role of ADP as an important energy carrier in the cell. Interpret various experiments on photosynthesis. Introduction. Revise the sections on the cell structure, plant tissues, and the leaf as an organ in grade 10. Concepts and skills. Below are definitions of some of the terms that you will study under this section. Use your textbook and underline all the new terms/words that you encounter while studying through the section on photosynthesis. Use the glossary in your textbook to define these new terms/words. Note: at least 2 marks are awarded if you can define a term correctly in a test or examination. Chlorophyll, the green, light-trapping pigment found in plant leaves. Chloroplast, a chlorophyll-containing plastid in the cytoplasm of a plant cell. Photolysis, the splitting of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen during photosynthesis. Light phase, light-dependent phase in photosynthesis that takes place in the grana of chloroplasts. Dark phase, light-independent phase in photosynthesis that takes place in the stroma of chloroplasts. Stroma, fluid part of the chloroplast where the dark phase occurs. ADP, energy carrier in cells that takes chemical energy to the dark phase during photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. I remember photo means light and synthesis means to produce. A photosynthesis is the process by which chlorophyll in the chloroplasts of green plants absorbs radiant energy from the sun, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and water from the soil to produce carbohydrates, e.g. glucose, which is stored in the plant. Oxygen is released into the atmosphere during the process. Enzymes in the cell are also needed for the process. You have learned about enzymes in grade 10. Excess glucose is converted into starch in the plant. The process of photosynthesis can be represented by the following equation. Chlorophyll. Carbon dioxide, CO2, plus water, H2O, plus radiant energy glucose plus oxygen, O2. Enzymes. A photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplasts of plant cells. Remember, you have studied the structure of the chloroplast in grade 10. Structure of a chloroplast. Activity 1. Use the flow diagram below and your notes in your textbook to describe the light and dark phases of photosynthesis. Importance of photosynthesis. A photosynthesis keeps the oxygen concentration in the atmosphere and water constant. Oxygen is needed by living organism for cellular respiration. Use your textbook and read the section on cellular respiration. A photosynthesis keeps the level of carbon dioxide constant in the atmosphere and water. Carbon dioxide is released by organisms during cellular respiration. A photosynthesis provides food for heterotrophic organisms. What are heterotrophic organisms? ADP as energy carrier in cells. When a cell needs energy, ADP is broken down and the energy is released. Cells use this energy to produce important molecules such as proteins, fats, etc. Muscle cells need energy provided by ADP to contract. Energy provided by ADP is needed to move substances across cell membranes. Factors that influence the rate of photosynthesis. Activity 2. Use your textbook and the graph below to describe the effect of light intensity on the rate of photosynthesis. Use your textbook and the graph below to describe the effect of carbon dioxide on the rate of photosynthesis. Use your textbook and the graph below to describe the effect of temperature on the rate of photosynthesis. Role of optimum light, temperature, and carbon dioxide in a greenhouse to improve crop yield. A greenhouse is a structure with a glass or plastic roof in which farmers grow plants such as tomatoes. Warm air is trapped in a greenhouse. The aim of a greenhouse is to provide optimal conditions of light, temperature, and carbon dioxide for maximum growth of plants. Optimum light intensity and temperature increases the rate of photosynthesis and stimulates the growth of plants. Carbon dioxide levels in the greenhouse decreases because of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide gas can be pumped into a greenhouse to increase the rate of photosynthesis of the plants. Activity 3. Study the experiments on photosynthesis in your textbook. You should also work through the questions/activities on photosynthesis experiments in your textbook. Question 1. Study the apparatus below which was used in an investigation to determine the factors necessary for photosynthesis. Green leaves were used in test tubes A to C, while a variegated leaf was used in test tube D. 1.1 What is the aim of the following experiments? A, B, C. 1.2 Give the function of sodium hydroxide in experiment B. 1.3 Indicate the color changes that would be observed when iodine solution is poured onto the leaves at the end of the investigation in the following test tubes. A, B, D. Question 2. Study the following diagrams, A and B, which illustrate an investigation and answer the questions that follow. 2.1 State the aim of this investigation. 2.2 Give one reason for each of the following steps in this investigation. A. In the beginning of the investigation, the plant was kept in a dark cupboard for 48 hours. B. The leaf was boiled in water. C. The leaf was boiled in alcohol or methylated spirits. 2.3 Draw a diagram of the leaf in stage B at the end of the investigation after it was treated with iodine solution and shade the parts which tested positive. Common errors made by learners in examinations. A learners not familiar with basic terminology. A learners do not understand instructional verb /s in a question, e.g. the difference between describe and explain. A learner's not able to provide correct labels to drawings/illustrations. A learner's not able to answer questions on experiments of photosynthesis. A learner's not able to answer questions based on scientific investigations, e.g. identification of variables, writing conclusions, etc. Activities/assessment. Complete the activities/questions on the section on photosynthesis in your textbook. Click the link below and download and complete expanded activities on photosynthesis https://d/12msg6qqb94exb7zvr43unpwxyxyrtier/view question mark USP =sign sharing. Consolidation. Define all the terminology relevant to the topic covered in this lesson. I work through the activities/questions in your textbook on the section of photosynthesis. Note: the knowledge and skills gained in this section will help you to have a better understanding of the following sections that you still need to deal with, i.e. cellular respiration, a human impact on the environment, values. By studying and learning about photosynthesis, you will develop a deep appreciation of the importance of plant conservation, as humans and animals are dependent on plants for their survival. Plants provide the food that we eat, the clothes we wear, as well as the active ingredients for our medicines. In addition, living plants are essential to the healthy functioning of our biosphere, the living world which humans inhabit. Excess carbon dioxide is building up in our atmosphere daily, and this contributes to climate change. Plants absorb this carbon dioxide and release oxygen back into the atmosphere.